Wow. What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. Dugai, coming at y'all with another episode of Dropping Dimes with Mr. Dugai. And today I'm going to talk about last night's thrilling football game as you had the LSU Tigers losing to the Florida State Seminoles 24 to 23 on a game-winning blocked extra point. Before I get into this video, for everyone, if you want to give me a follow on my social media platforms, I'm gonna have all that information down in the description box. May not always get a chance to respond to questions and comments on these videos, so feel free to DM me. Whenever I get a chance to, I'll get back at you. Come holler at your boy. Also, if you're a Madden player on Xbox One, I'm gonna have my Xbox One gamer tag down in the description box also. Sorry I'm late with this post-game reaction video. As a lot of you know, I actually went to the game last night. Got back real late, and I wasn't gonna do a video at 3 in the morning. So here we go, bro. Obviously, I got a lot of thoughts, and emotions about that game last night. Especially being in the building, seeing how it unfolded. First off, I'm gonna begin with Florida State. Shout out to them, congrats to them on the win. And I must say, Florida State had a nice showing in New Orleans, man. They really did, considering the fact that the game was in New Orleans, considering the fact, that's pretty much LSU's second home stadium. It was closer to 50-50 as far as the crowd in the Superdome and the crowd outside pregame. It was real. Florida State really represented the university and their football program well. So I got to tip my hat to Florida State for that because usually LSU, it's like 70% LSU whenever they playing in New Orleans. Now, Alabama did bring a good bit of people there, obviously, but they're closer. But Florida State brought a nice crowd to New Orleans last night. So I got to tip my hat to the Florida State fans for that. And for them, man, their quarterback played really well. Converted a whole lot of third downs. Some where he threw on the run, some where he scrambled around a little bit. The receiver Wilson with the two touchdown catches, one on the flea flicker, and then the other one-handed one when he was getting interfered with. They showed a lot of, grit. They ran the ball. Is his name Verse? I think it is, number 5, the defensive end. He was in our backfield all night long, which I'm gonna get to the LSU offensive line in a little bit. But he wreaked havoc last night, getting into the backfield a lot. Running game was solid. The only thing I'm gonna say, man, Mike Norvell has to do a better job as a head coach. Florida State tried every which way to give LSU this game last night. Early in the game, Florida State has a 7-3 lead. And okay, nothing wrong with you wanting to go for it, on fourth down and stuff like that. But they ran a low percentage play where you try to basically run a fade route with a running back. Like that's the chances of completing that are very slim. And that was a big momentum shift toward the end of the half to keep LSU in the game. I don't have a problem with his decision to go for it if I'm a Florida State fan. But the play call to me was very low percentage, and you could have ran another play. And obviously at the end, like you have the ball, Malik Neighbors, which I'm gonna get on him in a little bit also, fumbled a critical punt inside the 5-yard line, and Florida State has the ball with like up 7 already. So basically, though I know field goals were not guaranteed and extra points were not guaranteed in this game, um, depending, after seeing what happened at the very end. But in that situation, you have a field goal in your back pocket. Why are you pitching the ball in that situation? Only thing that could happen in that situation is bad things. Like what happened. You could fumble the pitch. Imagine if LSU would have picked that ball that got kicked around, LSU picked it up and ran it back. Like I just think in those he got to be better as far as big pressure moment play calling. Those two critical plays were terrible play calls, and it really kept LSU in the game, in a game that it felt like Florida State was winning by a lot. and LSU was right there the whole game. So I just had to say that about how my thoughts on Florida State. They better than they were the last year or two. I still don't think they quite ready to compete, in the ACC to win it all or nothing like that. But they're more improved. Their quarterback, I was impressed with him. I thought he played really well. I thought he showed a lot of grit, and obviously I was impressed with their D front and their receivers. They are better. They better than they've been. They're improving. So I got to give that to Florida State. But Mike Norvell got to stay out of the way. All right. Now to get on LSU, yo. I'm gonna start off with the quarterback performance with Jaden Daniels. I don't think he played bad. And as a matter of fact, I thought he got better as the game went along. Obviously he's an elite runner. He shows a lot of athleticism when he runs with the ball. He's a big time runner. He's one of the better running quarterbacks in college football. I don't think he throws a bad ball. I think he throws the ball pretty accurately. To me, he only had like one really bad throw all night that I remember when the tight end was coming on a out route and he sailed it basically into the dang near into the bleachers. But besides that, I thought he made good throws all night long. His biggest problem, the only real issue with him is he's more of a, though he got better as the game went on because what we thought was going to be the game time touchdown at the end, he did go through his progressions. But early in the game, it was one read and he was gone. It was one read and he shot out. Now, granted, the offensive line didn't give him any help, which I'm gonna get on them in a little bit. But besides him just doing one read and trying to run out of there, I thought he played well, yo. I thought he showed a lot of athleticism. He showed resiliency by not giving up. And he handled that last drive at the end beautifully. I don't know. It ain't many quarterbacks in college football that in that moment would have went 99 yards in 11 plays in that little bit of time and converted a touchdown. So I thought he did a magnificent job, in that last drive to what we thought was going to send the game to overtime. So I thought he played well. Running backs, man, we miss John Emery Jr. Uh, Goodwin and Noah King, especially Noah King. It's a nice story. A Baton Rouge guy transferred from Penn State back at LSU, but none of them have bursts. None of them have that getaway burst that if you give the ball, give them a lane, they're gone. John Emery has that. John Emery has, if you give him a crease, he could take it to the house from 70 yards. You don't have that with Noah King. You don't have that with Goodwin. So I feel like he was very much missed in this game. And you could tell by the coaching staff, like the coaches were more comfortable running Jaden Daniels than actually running the running backs last night. So we gonna have to get John. Look like he just gonna miss the Southern game, and then he'll be back at least for like SEC play. So that's a good news. We could use him. Wide receiving core, man. Kayshawn Butte, yo. That's my guy, man. Love him. Local guy, New Iberia, Louisiana. First team preseason All American. Holds the SEC record for receiving yards in a game. He's a big time talent, man. Big time player. He looked like last night, honestly, and I don't have no inside sources or nothing like that, just my opinion from observing it. Not only seeing him in the game, but looking at him on the sideline because I was kind of behind LSU bench also. He looks like a guy that's debating if he should even play this season or he should have sat out and wait for the draft. He looks like he's thinking about his draft stock. Um, he wasn't all in last night, man. He was not all 100% in like he was the last two seasons when I seen him play. It was already reported he admitted that he considered transferring from LSU, until he actually got his NIL deal. Um, and he just looks like he's thinking about the next level. And look, I can't get on the kid for that. It's his future, it's his family. Um, but my thing is, yo, if you're going to be out there playing, you got to be all in because honestly, he dropped three passes. That first one, like I get it, it was a tough play, but great receivers make that play. Justin Jefferson would have made that play. Jamar Chase would have made that play. These great receivers would have Devontae Smith, Addison, the guy that left Pitt and that's at USC. These great receivers come down with that ball on the first drive of the game to give your team a 7-0 lead and a lot of momentum. And he dropped two other ones, one in the end zone where he wasn't paying attention. The ball was there, he just wasn't looking for it. And he had two other critical drops. Now, he did have two nice catches, including a fourth down one late in the game that kind of helped us get back into the game. And I understand Daniels is not the most high volume passer. Like, he's not somebody that's going to wing it around 45 times a game. But if you're gonna be out there, you gotta be more invested, yo. Like, if you really considering your NFL draft and you're not gonna give this team 100%, just sit out, man. Nobody. I mean, yeah, there's gonna be people gonna talk about you, but so what? It's your life. It's your future. So look, either get more invested, man, or just sit out and get ready for the NFL draft, yo. Like, you can't have one foot in and one foot out, with this team. Jaray Jenkins, man, speaking of receivers, is not the most talented guy, but that guy's the leader of the receiver corps. Two touchdowns last night. Firing up the guys, made the what we thought was the game tying, catch. Made the big one last year against A&M. He's somebody, honestly, right now in the clutch, we more comfortable going to him than Bootsy at this point. Best kind of had a quiet game. Thomas made a couple of catches. I think Lacey made a catch, the transfer from UL Lafayette. I think he got a catch last night. The receiving core is talented, yo. It's just that we gotta do a better job of being able to get them all the football, yo. Um, the tight end last night, I thought he did some nice things. Had the big catch at the end, made a couple of other plays, so I thought he played well, blocked really well. The offensive line was terrible, particularly Cam Wire. Look, Will Dellinger early in the game when we did have the momentum on that first drive and we got down inside the 5-yard line, you can't snap the ball over the quarterback's head. Like, you can't do that. That's a drive killing play. Like, we had to settle for three. When we were, like I said, we had all the momentum. We going down the field with ease, and he snaps it well over Jaden Daniels' head. And we had to kick a field goal, and it's tough. Like, that's 4 points that you potentially lost out on. And, Will Campbell, the true freshman, he got baptized early in the game, but I thought as the game went along, he settled in a little bit. They did give him a little bit of help. He played better as the game went on. I'm not worried about Will Campbell. I feel like Will Campbell he's a true freshman in his first ever college start. He's going to get better and better as time goes on. But Cam Wire, man, like, at this point, look, let one of these younger guys get an opportunity, yo. He's a fifth-year senior. Like, it's the same thing with him for 3 years now. Like, I get it, versus a good pass rusher, but, like, come on, man. Like, you getting beat like a drum out there. At some point, if I'm LSU coach Brian Kelly and Brad Davis and his staff, I'm looking to see what they got in these younger guys, man. All that seniority stuff gonna have to go out the window if you can't play better. Just because you have experience, but if you're not good, it doesn't matter. Like, I'd rather take an inexperienced person that's better than an experienced person that don't know what they're doing. So, yeah, they're going to have to straighten that up, man. Defensively, the D-line, man, prayers to Mason Smith. It looks pretty significant. I'm not a doctor or want to speculate, but just off of early hearing what people saying on Twitter and stuff, it don't look like it's a chance he may be out the rest of the year. And it's unfortunate. He was playing really well early in this game. Went to celebrate, playing it wrong, and messed up his knee, man. Just a real tough situation. Ojulari made a couple of plays. Ali Gay, man. Look, man, that was uncalled for. I honestly think he should be suspended at least a game or two. That targeting hit on that quarterback, look, LSU or not, like, that was uncalled for. That was unnecessary. Not saying it was dirty, but it was very blatant. You got to sit, if I'm the SEC office, you got to sit out a game or two, for that type of hit, yo. Linebackers, man, didn't really do much, man. Mike Jones made a couple of plays. And in the secondary, honestly, this is probably the least talented, secondary that LSU has had in a while. With all due respect to UL Lafayette, with all due respect to McNeese, with all due respect to Oklahoma State, Um, those are not quite actually SEC corners, and they didn't look great last night against Florida State. And Florida State, this is the Florida State. This isn't Alabama or A&M or Ole Miss or Mississippi State. Florida teams that's going to really, really threaten us in the air. And they struggled mightily. LSU got to get on the recruiting trail for corners, man, and develop the ones that they have now. The transfer portal, I don't know, if that's going to quite work unless you're getting a 4 or 5 star guy from another major university. Like, this may not work long term, but it is what it is. We got to work with what we got to work with. But yeah, the cornerbacks did not look great out there. And finally, second to last, special teams, which is which cost us this game pretty much. It was horrible. Everybody who participated on special teams last night needs to run laps, run sprints till they throw up. The special teams coach needs to get chewed out by Brian Kelly today. That was just awful. When you talk about a blocked field goal, you talked about 2 muff punts, you talk about a shanked punt, you talked about a critical 15-yard unsportsmanlike penalty after a kickoff. And then of course at the very end, the block extra point to send the game to overtime when you have a chance to steal a game that you had no business in anyway. Like, you can't have that happen. And honestly, look, Malik Neighbors, another kid, love him. Como High School, Southside High School, another local kid. He should not be. He's not a punt returner. Like, he's too tall and lanky. I know DJ Chark did it one year, but honestly, even with him, besides that one return he got against Auburn, when it was a block in the back, I could see it now because it's over with. He wasn't great at returning punts. Like, he's too tall and too lanky to. He has too much body to hit. He's just too tall to me to be a punt return. He's not elusive or quick enough. Me personally, I like what's up with a guy like Sage Ryan. He was dominant at it at LCA, in high school. You're hardly using him at safety, so at least put him out there, give him that specialty, yo. Like Malik Neighbors, and it's not just with him, and that's not just with him fumbling, muffing 2 punts. I don't feel like he's gonna give you a threat to run one back anyway. I'd rather have Sage Ryan back there, honestly. And finally on Brian Kelly, look, man, it's a couple of things I don't like, but I'm gonna say this: I'm not jumping off the boat when it comes to him yet. Um, I don't like I said, I don't like the decision to put Malik Neighbors back there as a return specialist. And one thing I hate that he did, and it seemed like it's gonna be a problem with me going forward. When you win the coin toss, I don't like receiving. Like, you gotta defer in that situation. Like, you gotta give yourself a chance to play make it take it at the end of the half. Where you score at the end of the first half and get the ball back to start the beginning of the second half. Or if you up at halftime, give yourself a chance to extend the lead. If you down, give yourself a chance to take the lead or cut into the lead. Like, I don't find no point in taking the ball first every game because now other coaches are going to defer. So that means every time we get the ball, we're gonna be on. Every time we win the toss, every game basically, win the toss or not, we're gonna be on offense. I don't like that one bit, yo. I think he needs to fix that philosophy. He's not at Notre Dame or Cincinnati no more. He's in big time SEC football. But I will say this for him. I like how the team fought back. I like how the team never gave up. This is going to be his least talented team that he's going to have at LSU. Look, this team was not winning the championship this year. I thought 8-4 at best. Maybe now we're looking at 7-5, at best now, most likely. But like, I like how the team fought back. Matt House, though, I wasn't impressed with Matt House last night neither as a defensive coordinator. But to his defense, he don't have great personnel in the secondary to work with right now. But I still do need to see better out of him. But yeah, and then Brock, he didn't do terrible. The offensive line didn't help, and the fact that you don't have a running back that has explosiveness didn't help. But I thought they did okay. I like the play calls, in the last couple of drives to come back tie the game. And for Brian Kelly, like I said, look, Nick Saban first year, he lost at home to UAB. Les Miles first year, he blew a 21-0 lead at home to Tennessee, a Tennessee team that LSU was head over heels better than, and it was the first home game after Katrina. And Coach O lost to Troy at home on my birthday. All these are the last three national championship coaches at LSU that had real ugly losses in their first year where a lot of the fan base thought that they shouldn't be here. So I'm still believing Brian Kelly. I still think he's a good coach. I just think it's some things he needs to stop being so stubborn with and change around by him being here at LSU now. And he needs to continue to recruit better. Now he's doing the class next year is a good class so far. Walker Howard, from what I understand, is the future of this program, unless we get some other 4 or 5 star from somewhere. But team fought back last night. Team not expected to do much this year anyway, but got to fix that special teams and stuff like that. We got Southern next week. It's not exactly, the measuring stick game, but I want to see how we do in our next game against a good opponent and see if we got better at a lot of things we struggled at last night. But with that being said, that's all I got for y'all today. Appreciate y'all checking out the video. Hit the like button for your boy. Give me a subscribe. I'm going to have LSU, NCAA, and content of my other teams throughout the year. Y'all have a blessed one. Go Tigers.